My mum spent several months in hospital after her stroke. The stroke had affected her swallow. She wasn't allowed anything to eat or drink. And she was waiting for a date for surgery to fit a feeding tube so that she could be discharged. It was lockdown. Everything was harder than it otherwise would have been. And Mum was only occasionally allowed visitors. For a few weeks, I was the only person who was going in to see her. And whenever I went in, she would say to me, "I just want a cup of tea. I just want a cup of tea." She was thirsty. But what she wanted was so much more than just for her thirst to be quenched. She wanted to be sitting outside with family and friends with a cup of tea in her hand and probably some cake on the table in front of her. She just wanted the unbearable situation that she was in to end. Jesus had been talking to his disciples just a few days before about giving a drink to someone who's thirsty. "It's how I can tell the difference between the righteous and the unrighteous," he said. "You can tell who my followers are. They're the sort of people who will give a drink to someone who's thirsty." A request for a drink. It's such a small thing and quite easy to ignore. It's just a drink, after all. But it can be so much more than that. It can be a transaction. I have what you need. What are you willing to give me for it? It can be about power. Access to clean water is one of the biggest issues of inequality facing the world today. Or it can be an invitation. Just like another time when Jesus was thirsty, standing by a well in Samaria, a drink of water began a conversation with a woman, which ended up changing the lives of a whole community of people. "Your mother won't ever be able to eat or drink again," the consultant told us. But the speech therapist didn't agree. "We can work on this," she said. And she did, slowly and gently. She worked with Mum until she was able to eat and drink again, almost like she could before. And some of my best memories of Mum in that last year of her life are of sitting outside with family and friends, and a cup of tea in her hand and cake on the table. "Come to me if you're thirsty," says God. "Come to me and receive what you need to live, food and drink, and people to share it with. Come to me," says God, "and tell me whatever it is your heart is yearning for. For I am the God who truly knows what it is to be thirsty."